Great white shark. Let's start with the obvious, the great white shark. Hollywood has turned this creature into a true villain of the seas. And look, it's not without reason. This guy can exceed 6 meters in length and weigh more than 2 tons. Its bite, almost 2 tons of force. Bones turn into toothpicks instantly. But brute force isn't even the most impressive thing. The great white shark senses minuscule electrical pulses, like it can even detect your heartbeat hidden beneath the sand. It's like having a metal detector, but for heartbeats. Now here's a truth. Despite its killer reputation, this shark isn't crazy enough to attack everything it sees. Most attacks on humans are just test bites. It's curiosity, not hunger. It's like, whoa, what strange thing is this? Let me take a little bite to see. But when this creature rises from the depths, silent, invisible, man, it's basically a submarine with teeth. But listen, the ocean has even more intelligent and more deadly predators. Orca, the true owner of the territory. Many people call it killer whale, but technically, it's a giant dolphin. At first glance, it even seems friendly, right? Black and white, kind of cute, but behind that little smile is one of the most intelligent predators that ever existed. Unlike sharks, orcas don't hunt alone. They hunt in family groups led by the mothers. And man, they hunt with real strategy. They create giant waves to knock seals off ice blocks. They make coordinated ambushes to trap schools of fish. They deliver precise blows to paralyze rays. And look at this absurdity. They attack sharks by flipping them upside down, inducing a type of coma. Is this serious? This isn't brute force. This is chess played underwater. Orcas communicate with unique calls. Each group has its own dialect. They teach their young hunting tricks, passing knowledge from generation to generation. It's real culture in the land of whales, the orcas. And look at the plot twist. Despite the scary name, attacks on humans in nature are practically non-existent. To them, we're neither prey nor threat, but for everything else in the ocean, they're relentless executioners. The orca doesn't just kill, it orchestrates. They're the generals of the ocean, and when a group of orcas arrives, the entire sea falls silent. Tiger shark, the garbage dump with fins, the garbage truck of the ocean. This creature doesn't hunt with criteria, it eats anything. License plates, tires, birds, turtles, if it fits, it's lunch. Scientists have already found even car parts inside the stomachs of these guys, like literally automobile parts. At almost 5 meters striped like a tropical prisoner uniform, this shark is basically an assassin disguised as a fish. Its jaws are serrated, like a chainsaw, perfect for breaking shells, bones, whatever comes. And there's a crucial difference. While the great white shark generally takes a bite and retreats, the tiger shark doesn't hesitate. It bites and keeps biting. This persistence makes it number 2 in attacks on humans worldwide, right after the great white. Congratulations, silver medal in terror. And here's the worst part. While most sharks stay in the depths, the tiger shark patrols shallow waters. That's right, those waters where you're floating on your pink inflatable flamingo. So if you see stripes gliding beneath you in the tropics, it's not decoration, it's your last warning. Mako shark, the missile of the ocean. The guided missile of the ocean is the fastest living shark, reaching speeds above 70 kilometers per hour. That's highway speed with teeth, metallic blue, torpedo body. The mako is pure efficiency. Every fin, every muscle screams one thing: speed kills. The eyes are empty black, the teeth thin and curved like a surgical scalpel, designed not just to bite, but to hold the struggling prey. And what's on the menu? Tuna, swordfish, squid, even other sharks. If it moves, it's fair game. Fishermen call it the psychopath shark because, when hooked, the mako leaps meters out of the water, thrashing like an aquatic acrobat. Seriously, this creature fights even when it's dying. Fortunately, attacks on humans are rare, but when they happen, it's like being hit by a torpedo with blades. If the tiger shark is the garbage truck of the ocean, the mako is the sports car with an appetite for blood. Hammerhead shark. The alien, the ET of the shark world with that bizarre T-shaped head. It looks more like a scientific experiment gone wrong than a real predator. But this head isn't decoration, it's a weapon. Hammerhead sharks have 360-degree vision. The eyes on the ends give an almost panoramic view. Nothing goes unnoticed, and those wide sides are full of sensors detecting electrical signals from prey buried in the sand. A ray hidden at the bottom isn't safe. And there's more. Sometimes dozens of hammerhead sharks gather in schools, swimming in synchronized, mysterious movement. Imagine looking up and seeing a fleet of hammers floating above you. Despite the cartoon appearance, hammerhead sharks are serious hunters. Fast, efficient, precise. They may not be the biggest, but in terms of design, they're basically Formula One cars with alien helmets. Strange, but deadly. Saltwater crocodile. The dinosaur that never got the extinction notice. At over 6 meters and weighing more than a ton, this reptile is the largest living crocodilian on Earth. And it doesn't just dominate rivers, it invades the ocean. The bite force is over 1,600 kilograms, the strongest bite of any living animal. Saltwater crocodiles are patient assassins. They stay right below the surface, only eyes and nostrils showing until the prey makes a mistake. Then, explosion, sudden attack, dragging the victim into the famous death roll, spinning underwater until bones break and lungs fill. They eat everything: fish, birds, buffalo, even sharks. That's right, crocodile versus shark isn't fantasy. It happens for real. Humans, definitely on the menu. Saltwater crocodiles are responsible for hundreds of attacks every year. To them, we're just another piece of meat that got too close. Forget the title of King of the Jungle. This is the King of the Coasts, and it doesn't share the throne with anyone. Sperm whale. The giant of the depths, the largest toothed predator on Earth, reaching 20 meters in length and weighing more than 50 tons. This giant is a living submarine, but instead of torpedoes, it carries a biological weapon: sound. Sperm whales produce clicks louder than a jet engine, powerful enough to stun prey and perhaps even knock out a diver. They dive deeper than almost any mammal, more than 2,000 meters into the world of crushing pressure and eternal darkness. And down there, they face their greatest rival, the giant squid. Battles so violent that the whales return to the surface marked with suction cup scars as proof. Despite their size, they eat with precision. A sperm whale can consume a ton of squid in a single day. At the surface, they're gentle giants, but in the abyss, they're gladiators, the true kings of the depths. When a sperm whale descends into the darkness, it takes centuries of mystery with it. Proof that the ocean's most deadly battles don't happen where we can see, but in the black silence down there. Giant squid. The Kraken is real. For centuries, sailors told stories of tentacles rising from the depths, dragging ships into darkness. And while the legends were exaggerated, the creature behind them is very real. Giant squid can reach over 12 meters in length, more than a school bus. The eyes are among the largest in the animal kingdom, each one the size of a dinner plate, built to see in the black abyss. With tentacles lined with serrated suckers, it grabs prey like a living chainsaw: fish, squid, anything unlucky enough to cross its path. Its greatest rival, the sperm whale. Down in the depths, these two monsters face each other in battles we almost never witness, but the scars on the whales tell the story. The irony is that, despite all the terrifying imagery, the giant squid is rarely seen alive. Most of what we know comes from corpses on beaches or torn from whale stomachs. It's the ultimate paradox, a predator so powerful it inspired legends, but so elusive it still seems like myth. The ocean hides monsters, and this one barely lets itself be seen.
Anglerfish. The name sounds like something a child made up. It isn't. This thing is a biological horror show wearing a fishing rod on its forehead, and it lives where no light has ever touched. The deep sea doesn't play fair, and the anglerfish is proof. It lives below 1,000 meters, where the pressure would crush a submarine door and the darkness is absolute. No sun, no warmth, no reference point, just black water and whatever decides to swim through it. The anglerfish decided to bring its own light. That glowing lure dangling from its head is called an esca. Bioluminescent bacteria live inside it, producing a ghostly green glow that pulses like a heartbeat in the void. Prey sees light in total darkness and does the only logical thing, swims toward it. That's when the jaw opens. The anglerfish's mouth is almost as wide as its entire body. Its stomach can stretch to twice its normal size. It doesn't find food, it waits, and the ocean delivers. But here's the part that breaks biology. The male anglerfish is a parasite. He's a tenth the size of the female, and his only job in life is to find her and fuse into her body permanently. His eyes dissolve. His organs dissolve. He becomes a pair of gonads attached to her side, fed through her bloodstream. Scientists spent decades pulling up only female anglerfish specimens in deep-sea trawling nets. They thought the males were a different species entirely. Turns out they were already attached. Goblin Shark. Alien name, alien face. This shark doesn't look like it evolved. It looks like evolution panicked and submitted a rough draft. Its snout extends flat and blade-like beyond the rest of its face, filled with electroreceptors that detect the heartbeats of nearby prey through solid rock. It doesn't need to see. It doesn't need to chase. It just feels the ocean's electrical field like a map and follows the signal. But the snout is window dressing. The real feature is the jaw. The goblin shark has the only slingshot mouth in the shark family. Its jaw hangs loose beneath its head on a set of ligaments, and when prey is within range, that jaw launches forward from the face like a thrown punch. Not slowly, not gradually. It fires in a fraction of a second, striking at over 10 feet per second. The teeth, needle-shaped and curved backward to prevent escape, close before the prey can register the movement. A goblin shark can essentially bite things that are still 6 inches away from its mouth. It lives between 300 and 1,300 meters deep, a slow swimmer in cold, dark water. Scientists almost never see them alive. Most specimens arrive dead, tangled in deep water fishing lines, the extendable jaw already half collapsed. For years, nobody could agree on whether the jaw was typical or uniquely evolved. Then high-speed underwater cameras settled it. Every other shark moves toward its prey. The goblin shark moves its face toward its prey. That's a different problem. That's a different solution. That's a different animal entirely. Viperfish, 6 inches of transparent nightmare. This is the fish that made marine biologists rethink the phrase, too small to worry about. The viperfish's fangs are so long they don't fit inside its mouth. They curve upward past the jaw and sit against the outside of the face like a pair of sabers worn externally. To bite prey larger than itself, the viperfish unhinges its jaw and throws its head violently backward, opening its mouth to an angle nothing should anatomically be able to achieve. It does this at speed, in complete darkness, at depths below 1,500 meters, sometimes twice in a row. It has a photophore on its dorsal spine, a single glowing point of light that functions the same way the anglerfish's lure does, dangling above its open mouth while it hovers motionless, waiting. What makes the viperfish unique isn't the size of its bite. It's the commitment. This fish is built entirely for a single, catastrophic ambush. The fang structure, the hinged skull, the lure, the transparent body that makes it nearly invisible from the side. Every part of its anatomy is the same idea expressed differently. Get close enough once. That's all it needs. It can also survive months without eating. In a zone where food is rare and unpredictable, the viperfish runs on almost nothing. Its metabolism slowed to a crawl, waiting for the water to deliver something worth throwing its head back for. Fangtooth Fish. If the viperfish is a scalpel, the fangtooth is a sledgehammer with teeth attached. The fangtooth sports some of the most disproportionate weaponry in the ocean. Teeth so large it evolved dedicated sockets in its own brain case just to close its mouth without impaling itself. Scale its proportions to human size, and those fangs would be 9 inches long. The fish itself is less than 7 centimeters. That ratio shouldn't be physically possible. The ocean didn't care. It lives in the mesopelagic zone, around 200 to 2,000 meters down, where almost nothing is visible and food is a rumor. The fangtooth is nearly blind, relying on pressure-sensitive organs along its lateral line to detect the movement of prey through displaced water. It doesn't see the fish coming. It feels the shape of the disturbance and turns toward it. By the time the prey registers a predator, the water pressure has already changed around it from a jaw closing faster than it can respond. Juvenile fangtooths look nothing like adults. They're pale, spiny, almost elegant at the surface. As they descend into deeper water, the spines are absorbed, the skin darkens to near black, and the fangs emerge. The ocean literally changes them on the way down, like it's preparing them for something. Frilled Shark. This is the one that shouldn't still exist. The frilled shark is a living fossil. Its design has not meaningfully changed in 80 million years. Coelacanth get the fame, but the frilled shark is older in practice, unchanged while continents moved, while the dinosaurs rose and fell, while every other shark on the planet evolved into something modern. It stayed. Its name comes from the 6 pairs of fringed gill slits running along its neck in overlapping rows, giving it the appearance of a collar made of red lace. Its body is long, eel-like, up to 2 meters, and it moves by undulating its entire spine the way a snake does, not by sweeping a tail like a fish. It has 300 teeth arranged in 25 rows, each tooth 3-pointed, hooked at every angle. Nothing swallowed by a frilled shark has a direction to go except further in. It reproduces the slowest of any known vertebrate. Gestation takes up to 3.5 years. Some studies suggest longer. It gives birth to live young, fully formed, in litters of 2 to 15. This reproductive strategy is incompatible with modern fishing pressure, which is why encounters with living specimens are so rare that when one is caught on film, the footage circulates for years. Scientists believe it ambushes prey by coiling its body like a spring and lunging outward at angles bony fish can't predict. A C-shaped predator striking from a direction that makes no geometric sense in the dark. The oldest shark alive, still figuring out new ways to eat things. Colossal Squid. Everything you know about Giant Squid is a footnote. The Colossal Squid makes its cousin look like an appetizer. Not longer, but wider, heavier, denser. A mature Colossal Squid reaches 10 meters and weighs 500 kilograms, the heaviest invertebrate on Earth. Its mantle alone can be 3 to 4 meters long. Sperm whales eat Colossal Squid, and when scientists examine stranded whale carcasses, they find the evidence. Circular scars on the skin the size of dinner plates, each one left by a single sucker. But the suckers on a Colossal Squid aren't just suckers. They carry razor-sharp, swiveling hooks that pivot on a base, and when a tentacle wraps around prey, those hooks dig in and lock from every angle. No direction you pull will make it better. Its eyes are the largest of any animal alive, each one 27 centimeters across, roughly the size of a football, with massive light organs called photophores built into the eye sockets. These act like biological searchlights, illuminating the water ahead so it can spot the shimmering pressure trail of a sperm whale diving through the deep long before it arrives. The biggest invertebrate on Earth, using the biggest eyes on Earth, pointed upward, watching for the one thing that can kill it. Nobody has ever seen a live adult colossal squid hunt. Every specimen collected has been dead on arrival or dying. Everything known about its behavior is reconstructed from stomach contents and scar tissue on sperm whales. It exists mostly as evidence. Traces. The aftermath of something too large and too deep for cameras to follow. The ocean doesn't give up its biggest secrets easily. It just leaves the marks behind and lets you work backward from the wreckage. A scar, a beak inside a whale's stomach, a jaw on a fishing line. That's all most of these animals will ever leave us. Proof that they existed. That something down there is winning. 6 animals. 6 completely different solutions to the same impossible problem. Survive in total darkness, under crushing pressure, with almost nothing to eat and everything trying to eat you. The anglerfish became a living trap. The Goblin Shark became a projectile. The Viperfish became a single catastrophic bite. The Fangtooth built teeth it could barely close. The Frilled Shark refused to change for 80 million years. And the Colossal Squid just became enormous, with swiveling hooks and eyes the size of footballs pointed upward, and nobody has ever watched it hunt. The deep sea isn't quiet or empty. It's just that everything down there has found a way to solve survival that the surface world never imagined and never will. Hit subscribe, drop a like, ring the bell, and tell me, which one of these 6 would you least want to meet at the bottom?